Hello, welcome to my podcast. Stress. That's what we're going to talk about today, stress. So we can have various kinds of stress. You can have physical stress when your body's under stress, or emotional, mental, psychological. And I think these stresses have huge impacts on our aura. You probably know which stress you have. You'll probably know how you're feeling. With the physical, it's quite obvious. It's in the body. With the emotional, it's how you feel. You feel stressed. And the mental will be the feeling of being overwhelmed mentally, like you can't cope mentally. Psychological is a little bit of a mix of both, I think. I think this one's more you get stressed and your behaviour is a bit erratic, or you just feel really off. You just don't feel good. The stress is an energy in the body, and it's in the aura, but we can still release it. It's just like any other energy in the aura, like anxiety. I've done a podcast on anxiety and depression. These are similar energies in the aura which can be released. And the first thing I think you have to realise is which one it is. If you don't know, just do general stress when you release, and you can cover all of them, but you can release your stress. That's why I'm doing this podcast. It's possible to do it energetically. You will find that stress sits in different places. The major places are the chakras, and if you are having any digestion problems, it'll be in the solar plexus, or getting a lot of headaches, it'll be the back of your head, on your crown. So this is where you hold your stress. Anywhere that you can feel the stress in each chakra, you can go and just do that particular chakra and work on that. Or I usually do all the chakras just to cover everything. And the other places that you'll hold stress is in the emotional body, in the layers, and the astral body, and then in your mind. You hold stress in your mind. These are major places. Having said that, you also hold stress in the organs, in your stomach, in your esophagus, perhaps in your bowel, stress in your heart. I think the most important thing to do is, one, to realise that you do have stress. Everyone has it, and tucks it away. And then go and cover all the places, firstly where you think it is, and then do a general one. I usually release the stress using my pendulum, and then I do the tapping. I'll also do the meditation around it, and a hypnosis session where I go down to let it go, and then I just keep letting it go. I just keep letting the emotional stress go. Just let it go, just let it go, let it go from me, let it go. The most important thing is to actually let it go. If you don't let it go, it'll just be with you, and you don't have to carry it. Some of the stresses are layered. For example, if you've had a lot of emotional things going wrong, you'll feel emotionally stressed. You'll have layers of it. So don't just do one session of release work. Just keep going back and using your modalities to release it. Breathing in and breathing the stress out is very good too. And if you're in nature and you're walking, as you're walking, say every step I take, every breath I take, I'm letting go of the stress, and de-stress yourself. You can also use the bark remedies, and some of the essences are good, the essential oils. I think they're really powerful. Find one that you like. Lavender and frankincense, chamomile, marjoram are all good ones to use for stress, but you have to check with yourself to see what works for you. Our world is a stressful place, and there's stresses coming from us all the time, but it's our reaction to the stress that's going to be the problem. We can't change that we live in stress, but we can change how we react to it. And the less stress we have in our aura, the less we will react. It won't be triggered. So if you're really stressed about something at work and upset, and you come home and the children are misbehaving, you will react much more quickly if they're stressing you. Whereas if you'd got rid of your stress from work, then when you came home, you wouldn't react so much to the children or what's going on around you. It's about minimising it, releasing it and minimising it. And this is something you'll have to continue to do your whole life. You can't just do one session, unfortunately. I always go back and double check. After a while, especially if you can use kinesiology to muscle test to ask where it is, I found that I kept putting it mostly back in the same places. They must have been my hidey holes. And for me, I keep putting it, the stress in my solar plexus and my throat and my mind. Go back and have a look and see if you can see your pattern, and that'll be quicker, because then you just go back there and release the stress from that place. When we are stressed, it starts to affect our well-being, our aura. shakes differently when we're stressed. It has a messy, shaky vibration, something like a little earthquake through the aura. It's the best way I can explain it to you. And when we let it go, the aura calms down. And that's the thing too. You need to think calm. I'm thinking calm. I'm not thinking stress. I'm thinking calm. And try to do things just in front of you. Don't have a whole list there. Just today, this afternoon, I'm going to do that. And this, I'm going to do that. And try not to go too far ahead, because that will actually stress you, because you're carrying a heavier load. I'm sorry if you have stress. It's really pretty hard to live with. And if we're very sensitive people, we will also pick up the stress around us from other people. And you need to be aware of that not all the stress will be yours. So if you're sitting with your girlfriend and mate and they're really stressed and they're talking to you, you can actually pick that stress up. When you leave, I think you need to detach from it and just say, I'm releasing the stress I picked up from Tom or Susan. Because if you don't, you'll carry their stress as well. The world is also stressful, and I think a lot of the electronics stress are creating a stress in the aura, like an energetic stress. Too much on the tablets, too much on the computer, too much with the microwaves and all the electrical things, they do stress the aura. That is why it's good for you to get away from it. Go outside, be away, leave your phone switched off and go for a walk. Give yourself time away from all that electronics, because they're a vibration and they do affect the aura. And that's why I think people are actually more stressed than they ever used to be, because we didn't live lives like this before. We didn't have all that electronic interference, all that vibration interference. I just want you to know that you can let go of your stress and replace it with healing thoughts as well. The way to do that is every time you say something to yourself that is stressful, change it. I'm calm, it will be all right. It's going to work out. I can do this. I will get it paid in time. Therefore, you're not thinking in a stressful way, because I think you can start to think this way. It's almost like you got on the stress train and you can't get off. And I think you need to get on the calm train. And that's why you need to be coming from a calm place. And actually, the more stressful it gets around you, the calmer you should try and be to counterbalance that. Deep breathing will help you, and yoga and some of the walking and the running releases the stress from the body, quite literally. That's why exercise is actually good for you, not just because it's a healthy thing to do, but when you move the body, the stress can release. Having a shower too and a hot bath will actually release some stress. And using massage or massage machine. You need to really go all out there when you're trying to get rid of stress in your body. I think you'll find that you probably have one of the stresses more than the other. Some people have more emotional stress, some people have more mental stress. And you need to be really specific when you do your tapping or your release work, that you ask that you let go of that particular stress. And do realise that the stress isn't just in your body and your aura, it's in your mind. And your mind has an energy of its own. So don't forget to do the mind. The mind is really important, because that's how we think, and we can have stressful feelings, and we can also have stressful thoughts. And in our mind, we often have stress. We are thinking in a stressful way, or we're feeling stressed mentally. Even if it's coming from an emotional place, like something has emotionally upset you, you can still have that response of stress in your actual mind because of how you're thinking now. So your thought forms will be stressed. I'm really hoping that you can knock back your stress and start to feel more calm. I do believe we can get rid of it. I do believe that it's an energy that we can release from our aura. We just have to do a bit of work on it. And honestly, it doesn't take very long. If you're just sitting quietly, you just let go of the stress. You do a few rounds of tapping. You do your breathing in and out. And you think positive thoughts. And you let go of all your negative, stressful thoughts, negative, stressful emotions. We are so in control of ourselves. We have this incredible mind and soul, and we're more than we think we are. And we're quite capable of letting things go and releasing them and renewing the aura and actually making a better life for ourselves. Stress is very bad for the aura and it's bad for your mind as well. Really highly suggest that you start letting it go and using these release methods. It doesn't take long. Do it every day and do it when you're just sitting for a few minutes and keep letting it go. And eventually you'll find you start to feel more calm. When things happen to you that are stressful, you don't react as strongly. You're just a little bit more calm about how you're responding to it, and you just cope better in your daily life. And that's what we really want to do. We want to feel calm and enjoy our life and find some inner peace. And when you're very, very stressed, there's not much inner peace, is there? So try and find your peaceful, happy place and then try and release the stress. So I'm sending you lots of love and I'm sending you lots of light.